Look, I'll keep saying it. Words are cheap. Actions is all you should care about. Make sure you're counting on what was delivered. When Donald Trump was president, he blocked overtime benefits for millions of workers. He opposed efforts to raise the minimum wage, and he even proposed slashing budgets for federal fire service programs.
So this was a terrible week. She got no bounce out of the convention.
That's not true.
She's no bounce.
She got a 4-point bounce, and
No
she's
bounce.
in Georgia today campaigning.
Okay, she got no bounce, Jessica.
no bounce.
Look at the polls.
Okay.
And
I
she's
do
now
look at the
down
polls.
in all the battleground
That's not
states.
true.
Real clear, check it out,
Okay.
right?
Donald Trump has hit a new low, and unfortunately for him, and fortunately for us, there's nothing that his friends at the Fox propaganda outlet can do to save him. In fact, they are actually hurting Donald Trump by reporting new polling that has Donald Trump melting down in the most humiliating way. Yet Donald Trump is now going to war with the host at the Fox propaganda outlet. Because as much as they want to lie on behalf of Donald Trump, polling is polling, numbers are numbers, and numbers don't lie. And the numbers show Donald Trump is losing so badly in this race. And that is absolutely driving him crazy. And so Donald Trump is lashing out at Fox, lashing out at MAGA, and there's really nothing he can do besides just spiral out of control, and we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button and join this channel. If you haven't already, it really goes a long way now. On The Five today, Jesse Waters was talking about how Kamala Harris is falling in all of the swing state polls and that she's not the one surging. But Donald Trump is, which is just a complete lie. But that lie was actually called out by Bret Baier when new polling came into Fox that really has Donald Trump upset.
So this was a terrible week. She got no bounce out of the convention.
That's not true.
She's no
She
bounce.
got a 4-point bounce, and
No
she's
bounce.
in Georgia today campaigning.
Okay, she got no bounce,
Oh, you
Jessica.
got no bounce.
Look at the polls.
Okay.
And
I
she's
do
now
look at the
down
polls.
in all the battleground
That's not
states.
true.
Real clear, check it out.
Okay.
Right now, in the break, I'll prove you wrong.
Okay.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Bret Baier. With fewer than 70 days until the presidential election, we are releasing new Fox polls from key Sun Belt states, and it's anyone's ball game, as you can see right here. Former President Donald Trump holds a 1-point lead in North Carolina, 50-49. But Vice President Kamala Harris, is leading by 1 in Arizona, 50-49, by 2 in Nevada and Georgia, 50-48 in each of those states.
I absolutely love to see it. Just instant karma for Jesse Waters. It's not just great that Donald Trump is being humiliated on Fox, it's also great that Fox hosts are being humiliated on Fox. Jesse Waters obviously hit with that instant karma, but Bret Baier clearly very sad that he has to report that Donald Trump is behind in all of these very important swing state polls. And I think what got Donald Trump really upset is that Bret Baier didn't just report the polling, but then he went to the big board and talked about Kamala Harris's path to victory in this election, which is looking very clear right now. And that is what that is what sent Donald Trump into this truth. Social posting spiral in which he absolutely attacked Fox News, went after them, and we're going to check that out. But first, let's see Bret Baier lay out the path to victory for Kamala Harris.
It brings us to 264 to 258. Again, 270 is what you need to win. And guess what remains? Georgia. Georgia remains. It was the closest contest in 2020, decided by less than 1/4 of a percentage point in favor of President Biden. Our recent polling showed the widest gap, 6 points, for former President Trump over President Biden. But now that has closed. Harris has a 2-point lead in our latest poll. It's expected to be a close race. That's obviously within the margin of error, but both candidates are spending a lot of time in Georgia, and if that lead holds, she wins Georgia, she wins the presidency of the United States.
Not only do the MAGA hosts at the Fox propaganda network know Trump is losing, Donald Trump knows he's losing, and I think that's why he was driven so crazy. And what led him to make this statement, attacking Fox, the Trump campaign. Attacks Fox News for atrocious polls, showing Harris ahead in battleground states, awful track record. Former President Donald Trump attacked Fox News on Wednesday for reporting on Vice President Kamala Harris's poll lead in several battleground states after Fox News reported that Harris was beating the former president by 1 point in Arizona and 2 points in Georgia and Nevada. Trump's official website published a post accusing the network of having an awful track record in the post, titled, "We report, you decide Fox's polling has an awful track record." The Trump campaign protested it's that time of year again. Fox is releasing atrocious polling. The statement reads, "A look at polling from this same time period in 2020 shows that Fox was off in North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada from either 5.3% to 99.7%. Fox's only Georgia poll in 2020 was released in June, and that one overestimated Joe Biden's support by 1.7%. The statement continues, President Trump continues to outperform polling from past cycles. President Trump is 10 points ahead of where he was in Arizona at this point, in 2020. According to Fox, likewise, he is running 8 points ahead of his 2020 polling in Nevada and 5 points ahead of his 2020 polling in North Carolina. We see the same trend nationwide. A look at Real Clear Politics average in Pennsylvania, for example, shows President Trump 6 points ahead of where he was at this point in 2020 and 9.4 points ahead of where he was in 2016. In recent months, Trump has repeatedly attacked Fox News airing poll numbers, which showed him neck and neck with President Joe Biden, and then subsequently Kamala Harris. Fox News will never take great polls from reputable pollsters, he posted in July, but will take fake confidential Democratic polls that they leak to Fox and go up big with them. That same month, Trump ordered Fox News to stop putting on the enemy and shared a slew of posts attacking the network, including individual hosts. So clearly Donald Trump is pretty shaken up, not just by this polling, but Bret Baier showing that Kamala Harris has a clear path to the White House, beating Donald Trump in the most important swing states in this election. And so Donald Trump has lost his mind. Because it's so funny to me, and it's so revealing that he thinks anything on Fox that isn't positive, and propaganda for him all the time, is an assault on him from the network. Not just them doing what should be their job in reporting the news. It shows how diluted Donald Trump's sense of reality is. How skewed it is that he expects Fox to only report positively for him. And even when they bring on a Democrat or someone who has Democratic-leaning ideas, he sees them as the enemy and demands that they be taken off the network. And that's why Donald Trump must have also been so upset, because Fox ran an incredible part of Tim Walz's speech today that I want to check out.
Look, I'll keep saying it. Words are cheap. Actions is all you should care about. Make sure you're counting on what was delivered. When Donald Trump was president, he blocked overtime benefits for millions of workers. He opposed efforts to raise the minimum wage, and he even proposed slashing budgets for federal fire service programs. Those are just simply facts. But look, it's not just what they've done, it's what they're going to do. This is the big thing. One of the goals of their Project 2025 is to screw the middle class, making it harder for workers to collectively bargain, allowing employers to drastically cut overtime or eliminate it. Slash taxes for the ultra-wealthy by imposing a national sales tax on the rest of us. Look, I've said this, I'm an old-time football coach. If you draw up a playbook, you plan on using it. Project 2025 is a plan to reshape what America looks like, moving away from the middle class and putting it right back on the oligarchs and the wealthy at the top. He said he's going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. That thing is pre-existing conditions. Those are things that make sure that our family gets health care. And for many of our families, and I know you don't get to participate in it, but your families do, my mom does, Social Security and Medicare are life-saving programs for them. Instead of funding those programs, they talk about cutting them. So here, this is what I always say. If you got $1 billion, you don't give a damn if your Social Security check shows up. But if you're like my mom, that's how you pay for your food. That's how you pay for your heat. That's how things get done. So that check, pretty damn important to protect it. Again, use their own words. This is a guy who told his friends down at Mar-a-Lago, and this is a direct quote. Look, all of you you're rich as hell. We're going to give you a tax cut, while telling workers that wages are too high. That says it all.
Donald Trump can run from his Project 2025 agenda as much as he wants. He can try to escape it. But we know that Donald Trump is a liar. We know that we cannot trust him. We know that this is his agenda. And lying about it only shows that Donald Trump is not only dangerous, but also deceitful and deceptive things that we already know about his character. Someone who is a pathological liar, a TE book narcissist. Donald Trump lacks the character needed to be president. But of course, we already knew all these things. We don't need to talk about these character assessments of Donald Trump. And we do also have the cold hard facts about his failed presidency, the economic turmoil and disaster that he led us into because of his mismanagement of Co. And while we're on the topic of cold hard facts, it's not just polls that have Kamala Harris up, but the metrics Donald Trump cares most about: enthusiasm, crowd size, ratings on television shows that KLA Harris is succeeding, and Jessica Tarov said that right here.
Vegas, and the evidence of how well she did is in cold hard facts. In ratings, Trump's favorite thing, 22% up from Donald Trump's acceptance speech. 7.2 million raised between 11 p.m. and midnight over the course of the entire week. ActBlue says over $100 million came in for Democratic candidates, organizations. There was a panel of undecided Pennsylvania voters, a focus group, 8 of them in there. 6, after watching the speech, are now going with Kamala Harris. Those are all hard facts that show that she did a really good job. We know about the enthusiasm being up. We know about the polls going in her direction.
Donald Trump's friends at Fox can't save him anymore, and that makes me so happy. I love to see MAGA at war with each other, and we're going to keep talking about it on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you want to add a little extra support, you can become a monthly member by hitting that join button and becoming a monthly member of the show. The support really goes a long way as a college student and means the world to me. And until next time, I'll see you soon.